you grew like so much. Like
Oh
I
man.
see like all the inspirational stuff that you put out, the talks, the podcast. When I saw the podcast, I was like, damn,
Oh yeah. Thank you.
he's got like quite a bit of subscribers. You're up there in like 10-20K, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how long did it take you to build that up? You know, how was the process? If you could give me
Oh
some
man.
tips.
Oh yeah. Oh, so yeah, no problem, man. The process took a little minute. To be straight
Mm-hmm.
up honest with you, it took me roughly almost 2 years. So I started it. I was one not frequent in my videos, and then I said, okay, I need a frequency, so once a week, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then every step of the way seemed kind of difficult for me, right? One, I started trying to edit myself, but I noticed I was spending way too much time trying to edit the videos, and then I was like, okay, because I wanted it to be dynamic, professional, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at first I was like, should I just do, how long should I do a podcast? So I did tons of research about how long is a podcast for. Like usually people actually thrive on long format, like podcasts anywhere between 50 minutes to a hour and a half, right? A lot of people like these long content stuff because you make more money as people keep watching. But I noticed also it was a big segment, around 30-40% of people who actually like short form content in podcasts is roughly between 5 to 15 minutes. So I was like, okay, I'll shoot for that 30%. And so as I started researching that, I started like, like you said, you already said it, like niching yourself down. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, I want to do personal development because, this is the niche I'm on, right? But I'm like, okay, how do I distinguish myself differently? So I started, like, okay, let me use the military angle. But then I was like, I really don't know if I can. And I don't really want to involve the military into what I'm trying to do, even though it's positive, right? It's a
Yeah.
positive look, cool, but I don't want to because I don't want them like, oh, you can't wear your uniform and all this. So I made sure I didn't wear my uniform. And if I talked about the military, I'd be like, hey, I'm a mass sergeant, but then started something else. And then I was like, I really, since a kid, since living in Japan, I love anime intensely. And so I was like, yo, I still love my anime. I know a lot about anime. Let me niche it further down, right? And so I was like, that's what I had to do. I started niching